Thursday Night Football, the Washington Commanders are on the road to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles, a big NFC East showdown between the top two teams in the division. My best bets are on the way. If you are new, my name's Austin from Calling Our Shot. Thank you for taking some time out of your day to watch this video. Hopefully I deliver some winners for you all. But as always, we begin with a recap of how we did the previous week since it is a Thursday. Last week, pretty profitable week for us. Every single day betting football, we made some money. On Thursday, we went 2-0, looking to duplicate that this week. Sunday, 5-4, barely profitable. And then Monday, 1-1, but our only loss was a half unit play. We won our Puka Nacua prop. We were one Calvin Ridley garbage time reception and 50 rushing yards for Joe Mixon away from a big day. I say 50 plus. We needed 50 plus. He had 46 on 25 carries. An insane game, that Sunday Night Football game. But either way, let's have another profitable week. I know a big week is around the corner. Let's start off with a 2-0 Thursday Night Football game. And we're going to dive into the picks in just one moment. But I do want to point out, Underdog Fantasy, they have a free square for you all right now. It's for Jalen Hurts to get you 1 yard. You think that's coming through? Yeah, that's going to be green. That's a free square for a reason. You only get it when you sign up using code COS or the link in the description, and you will get a match on your first deposit up to $1,000. It's like a 50% match. So code COS or the link down below. Underdog Fantasy available in a ton of different U.S. states. You use my code, you get that free square and that deposit match. Last note, we do have another video. It was posted early on Wednesday. It talked about every single game on Sunday and Monday Night Football. We give out our favorite spread, total, money line. We've done pretty well on them this season. So if you're curious how we feel about your team or you want to know where we stand on that, I'll link that video down below. It's a longer form video, but there's timestamps. You can jump around as much as you want. You guys came for some picks though. First one of the day, Devonte Smith. Give me his over 50.5 receiving yards, minus 115 on Fanatics. Now, honestly, I was waiting to see if FanDuel would drop a line. Now I'm recording this Wednesday at around 6:30 p.m. I was hoping they would give us a line just to see what they gave us, but I'm sure they have a line by the time you're watching this video. Devonte Smith technically is questionable here. From what I see, he's full systems go. It is a Thursday, so when you see guys limited in practice, they're not even practicing. They're just doing walkthroughs. Devonte Smith will be a full go in this game. I like his over up to about 54.5. Now, obviously, you're going to see a lot of people. If you're going on to Twitter, you're going to see everyone on A.J. Brown's over. You're going to see everyone on Saquon Barkley's over. I think Devonte Smith is a sneaky one that I don't think a lot of people are looking at. Devonte's actually owned this matchup. His last 5 games against the Commanders, he's had 54, 169, 38, and then last year, 78 and 99 receiving yards. Now, let's keep in mind, last year against the Commanders, A.J. Brown, he absolutely torched him. He had 2 touchdowns in each of the games, had 130 and 175 receiving yards. You don't think they're going to try to pay a little bit more focus to him? Dan Quinn, the new head coach for the Commanders, obviously a defensive-minded guy. If I'm coming into this game, there is 2 things. That I know it's a short week. You can't install a whole new game plan. 2 things you need to slow down for the Eagles. That is 1, Saquon Barkley. If you can't stop him, well, the Eagles won't even throw the ball. Number 2, it's A.J. Brown. So don't be shocked if we see a safety over the top on A.J. Brown. You try to take him out of the game plan, and you should see Devonte Smith have one-on-one coverage all game long. And last week at Dallas, if you backed Devonte, you got wrecked. You had 2 receptions for 13 yards. Obviously, didn't really need to be used a whole lot. Previous this season, you also had another dud. He had 1 reception for -2 yards. The next week after that -2 yards, 85 yards. He bounced back. He has 60 receiving yards in 6 of 8 games. So the only 2 games he's gone under this line were 2 games he put up big duds and they didn't really use him. Typically, we've seen over the last few seasons when Devonte Smith has a bad game, Jalen Hurts makes it an effort to get him the ball, and Kellen Moore in this offense, I think, will find ways to get Devonte Smith the ball. He's going to have a great matchup here. They are going to play one-on-one coverage against him, and he obviously can beat that. I'm not a big fan of the Commanders secondary. I'll give them credit. They've been better recently, but still, if they're going to try to stop anyone, it is A.J. Brown. It is not Devonte Smith until he has 100 yards on you. And so at the end of the day, we're back at Devonte. My last note, I love backing this guy at home. I don't know what he does on the road. I feel like he doesn't lock in there, but at home, he has 50 receiving yards in 13 of his last 15 home games. His only 2 games he went under. He had 49 in one of them and 30 yards in the other one. So again, I really like this spot for him. I think this is a sneaky good spot where a lot of people won't be on his overs, and then they'll be like, what the heck? Why does he have 50 yards at halftime? Hey, hopefully that would be great for us. I really like his over though at 50.5. Obviously, 50 is not going to get it done. We need 51, but I think Devonte Smith comes through with that. So give me his over in receiving yards as my first prop of the day. It is a 1-unit play. Before I dive into who I think wins and covers in this game, I will give you another half-unit play. And this is a little bit of an interesting one, a market I haven't really touched at all this season. And heck, in my betting career, I really haven't touched it a ton. So maybe we'll get burned, but we'll get in here. It's a half-unit play. I'll try to illustrate it on the screen. each team to score one or more rushing touchdowns and one or more passing touchdowns, plus 170 on FanDuel. It's identical value on DraftKings. Now, if you're like, Austin, where the heck is this market? On DraftKings, you will go to their, they have a game specials tab. It is somewhere down there, plus 170-ish. And then on FanDuel, it'll be under a game specials dash popular tab. We've taken a couple of similar markets in the same sort of market, but not this exact one, where we need both the Commanders and the Eagles each to score a rushing and a passing touchdown. Obviously, a little bit of a niche market. If you're like, Austin, I'm on a book that doesn't offer something like this. I don't have a great pivot. I do kind of like points in this game, obviously. I also think there's sneaky value on the one touchdown and one field goal from each team in each half. That's plus 1,800. I'll just stick with my plus 170 here. Now let's talk about why I like both of these two legs and why I think their offenses are a little bit more successful than maybe you think tonight. Jaden Daniels has a passing touchdown in 6 of his last 8. The Commanders as a team have a rushing touchdown in 6 of the last 8. Overall, 1 rush and 1 passing touchdown in 4 of the last 8. So they've been somewhat consistent. They are getting Brian Robinson back. He did miss last week. He's obviously their goal line back. Austin Eckler's still good at getting into the end zone, but not as good as Brian Robinson, in my opinion, at least this far into their careers. He has, 6 rushing touchdowns this season. We know Jaden Daniels can rush one in. He didn't have a passing touchdown last week. I imagine that changes. In a divisional game, I don't know if you're settling for field goals, especially with a good offense on the other side like the Eagles. So even if they get to 4th down, 4th and goal, they might go for it, which is what we want. We don't get paid for field goals here. I like them to get 1 pass and 1 rushing. Jaden Daniels could do it himself. Now let's talk about Jalen Hurts. Speaking of doing it himself, Jalen Hurts by himself has cashed this pass and rush touchdown in 4 straight games. So he's like, all right, I'll do it myself. But as a team, they have 1 pass and run rush in 7 of 9 games. So obviously, Eagles, very consistent team. They have the tush push at the goal line. They have Saquon Barkley who can punch it in. And then they have a lot of great receivers like Devonte Smith, A.J. Brown, Dallas Goedert's back healthy. So at the end of the day, I think both these two teams, I think at least the Eagles get the 1 pass and 1 rush. It comes down to probably the Commanders. Can they come through for us? Has a little bit of value here at plus 170. A little bit of a weird one. We're only putting a half unit on it. So if it loses, I'm not too mad, but hey, it would be pretty cool to cash a plus 170. I think there's touchdowns in this game, hopefully no field goals. And so I really do like this one at plus 170. Again, a weird niche market, but I don't think a lot of people will be betting on this. So I will take each team to score 1 passing and 1 rushing touchdown. And let's try to get out of the way pretty early in this game. And hopefully we aren't sweating like a rushing touchdown late from either of the two teams. Go score some touchdowns. Now, finally, need to talk about, I think, wins and covers in this game. I don't honestly love Eagles minus 3.5. I'll put that up as my lean for this game. I'm personally not betting any of my money on that. If I were to bet my money on this game in terms of the game outcome, I probably would look at a FanDuel market, which I've taken advantage of in the past, which is the Eagles to win by 1 to 13 points. Plus 110 on FanDuel. Now, I know other books don't offer that exact same win outcome. They give you a bunch shorter range where it's like 1 to 6, 7 to 11, and just weird numbers. I think FanDuel does a great job at giving you those great win margins. Obviously, if you think the Eagles win, do you think it's going to be a 14 plus point win? I personally don't think so. The reason I'm not betting on it is because I do have money on the Eagles to win the division. And that this obviously is a massive game for them to take a big step to get to that division winner. So I'm not going to invest any of my money on the Eagles tonight. Although if I were to, I think there's value on that Eagles to win by 1 to 13. I don't think this is a blowout. And I think the Eagles do win. They're at home. Obviously, the Commanders are still a really legit team. Both these two teams, you could argue, really haven't played a lot of elite competition. Obviously, the Commanders coming off a loss to the Steelers. That's been one of the best teams they faced this season. A lot of not great competition, especially for the Eagles side. Should be a tight game. I don't love the Eagles minus 3.5 because you don't get that key number of 3. At the end of the day, I would rather bet the 1 to 13 point victory for the Eagles plus money. I think that's a decent one if you're looking for a sprinkle. But those are my favorite picks. A reminder, you can sign up for Underdog Fantasy. Make sure you use my code COS or the link at the top of the description. They'll match your first deposit up to $1,000, and they'll give you Jalen Hurts free square. So take advantage of that. A reminder, if you want to go check out the other video where we talk about every single game on Sunday and Monday. We skipped this game for obvious reasons. We talk about all the games Sunday through Monday. We timestamp them in that video. You can check out what we like, money line, spread, total. We've done pretty well on them this season. I will link that video here. Go check it out. It's Austin. I'm signing out. Go touchdowns and go Devonte Smith. Let's have a day. See you guys in the next one, and see you guys on Saturday for some more NFL props for Sunday. See you then. Peace.